Many of us are taught that chronic pain and symptoms are the result of damage in the body. But many forms of chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and fibromyalgia are not the result of damage or disease in your body. They're occurring because your nervous system has become sensitized. And what this means is your nervous system has been stuck in danger mode for too long. And as a result, your brain starts to produce chronic pain or symptoms. This may sound scary, but it's actually incredibly hopeful because just as your brain has learned chronic pain and symptoms, it can unlearn them. And that's where today's video comes in. I'm going to teach you about embodiment practices, which is having an ability to drop into your body towards your pain and symptoms with gentleness and compassion and cultivate safety with them. And over time, this can desensitize your pain and symptom system and reduce the sensations. Now, this isn't about forcing change. It's about retraining your brain, teaching it, hey, my body's actually safe, it's capable, I no longer need these unpleasant sensations. Stick with me till the end of this video because you'll not only understand how your pain and symptom system actually works, but I'm also going to go through a free embodiment practice that you can start using right away to heal your symptoms. So this is how most people believe pain and symptoms work. We call this type of pain nociceptive pain. So first, the body is damaged or in danger. Second, the nerves send signals to the brain. The brain receives these messages, understands the body is actually damaged, it interprets danger, and then fourth, the brain produces pain and symptoms to alert and protect you. But with the latest neuroscience that is being done, we have come to understand that most chronic pain and symptoms are not the result of damage or disease in the body. They're occurring because your nervous system has become sensitized. So what I'll see with people is maybe they did injure themselves, but their injury heals and their systems become sensitized over time, so their pain and symptoms just continue long after their injury is healed. Or for some people, their pain and symptoms just developed out of nowhere. And what's occurring is the level of danger that their brain and nervous system has been feeling has just gotten too high that it starts to produce chronic pain and chronic symptoms. Now, we call this type of chronic pain and symptoms neuroplastic. So here is how neuroplastic pain and symptoms occur. First, the body is not damaged or diseased. Second, the nerves send safe signals to the brain. Third, a sensitized brain and nervous system receives these messages and misinterprets them as dangerous. And fourth, the brain produces pain and symptoms to alert and protect us. So it's vital to understand that neuroplastic pain and symptoms occur when the level of danger in your brain and nervous system just got too high. And this could be for a lot of different reasons. It's kind of unique of why someone's danger level in their nervous system has just gotten too high. It could include childhood adversity from your past or trauma that's just kept you in this chronic dysregulated state of fight, flight, or freeze and shutdown. It could be maybe mental health concerns you're having, like anxiety or depression. It could be things like toxic stress in your life, at work, in relationships, at school. It could also be how you're going about living life, such as you're high achieving, perfectionistic, people pleasing, you're putting pressure on yourself, you're being self-critical. And for a lot of people, what I see is as pain and symptoms start to occur, they have a really dysregulated response with a lot of unpleasant emotions, and that sensitizes their system more. So again, it's the level of danger that has just gotten too high that's going to produce chronic pain and symptoms that are neuroplastic. Now, sensitization, unfortunately, can grow over time. So if we're not treating the brain and nervous system using the approach I talk about on my channel, your chronic pain and symptoms will likely worsen month to month, year to year. Essentially, your brain is learning pain and symptoms better and better. Neurons that fire together wire together. And when our brain experiences pain and symptoms repeatedly, these neurons form a strong network. And repeated activation of pain sensations can result in strengthening the neural connections in the brain, increasing the pain signal's efficiency. Over time, this process can result in pain becoming long-lasting and more sensitive. As I said, sensitization can grow. Essentially, your brain gets better at producing pain and symptoms. It's kind of like any skill you learn. Practice equals improvements. But the dark side of learning is your brain can also learn unhelpful things like neuroplastic pain and symptoms. Now, this may sound really scary, and I get that. When I first learned that my pain and symptoms were neuroplastic, I was terrified that I wasn't going to be able to get better and they were just going to worsen over time. And that's why it's really important we start to intervene and we start to use a brain and nervous system approach. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about one piece of that I use at my clinic and in my digital course that I call embodiment practices. Now, with embodiment practices, what we're doing is we're starting to get out of our thinking mind and into our body. This is where dysregulation, difficult emotions are kept, and this is where you feel pain and symptoms. So getting out of our minds into our body, and we start to get exposure to dropping in and being curious and interested in what our pain, symptoms, or dysregulation is doing. We start to get more connected with it. A lot of people with chronic pain and symptoms, they run for the hills. And I get that. When we feel these unpleasant things, we do everything we can to avoid it. The more you avoid focusing on your pain and symptoms, typically the more your brain's going to feel in danger. Now, again, I don't want you focusing on your pain and symptoms all day. That's not helpful. But during embodiment practices, it really is helpful because we're getting exposure to being with the sensations, and then we're creating safety with them. We start to cultivate a feeling of safety. We use nervous system regulation techniques, slow breathing, intentional movements, safe self-talks with safe messages, giving that to your body. And by doing this, we're getting exposure, but then we're creating safety. And we're teaching our brain we don't need to fear the pain and symptoms anymore. We can be with them, and over time, we'll move through them. Now, embodiment practices are not an instant fix. They're just not. You need to be doing this work consistently to start to get results. And so just be aware of that the point of this isn't to make your pain and symptoms go away right in the moment. We want to use this consistently, as well as the other strategies on my channel. And by doing that, we can start to, over time, reduce the sensations. Now, I'm going to give you a free embodiment practice right now. This is an audio practice we recorded a while back. It's for pain and symptoms, but I want to be clear, you want to be doing this when the pain and symptoms are at a mild to moderate level and you can tolerate attending to them. If your pain or symptoms are too high, come back to this later. It's just usually too intense to focus on the sensations when they're really intense. So let's dive into it. Begin by closing your eyes or lowering your gaze. Bring your focus to your breath. Inhaling through your nose, filling your belly full of warm air, and exhaling through your nose, allowing your body to release. Inhale warmth and care, and exhale any dysregulation you may be feeling. Notice what parts of your breathing cycle feels the most pleasant. Is it when you inhale and your belly and lungs fill with warm air? Or when you exhale and your body relaxes? Each time you reach this pleasant stage of the breath, really lean in and savor the sensations. Next, widen your attention and bring your whole body into awareness. Search for a place you can feel a pleasant or neutral sensation. Pick out an area that feels easy to be with. Bring your focus to this area and explore it with a sense of curiosity. Notice all the details and subtleties. Drop in and describe the sensations that feel calming or pleasant. Imagine breathing into the pleasant or neutral sensations. And each time you exhale, allow the sensations to deepen or spread. And if your attention is drawn to an unpleasant symptom, simply notice this happening. See if you can focus on the pain or symptom with the same attitude of lightness and ease. And then gently shift back to somewhere more pleasant. Remind yourself that your body is not damaged. Your brain is just misinterpreting the signals coming from this part of your body. Continue to soften the body with a sense of safety each time you exhale. Release any muscles that might be trying to guard or protect you. Now, let's shift to focus on a pleasant memory. Bring to mind a favorite memory of a person, place, or animal. Once you've picked out a memory, allow yourself to bring it alive. Remember the sights, colors, sounds, smells, and sensations. Place all your senses back there. Notice, as you do this, what occurs in your body. You might place a hand on your belly or bring a small smile to your face. Do sensations of warmth, calm, lightness, or ease occur? Savor any pleasant sensations that occur from visualizing this memory. Remind yourself your body is healthy and capable. Your only job while healing is cultivating a sense of safety within. spend one last moment in your body and give yourself love and appreciation for going through this practice. When you're ready, open your eyes and come back to the room.